Today we're talking about how screening, it can cost you the game. I'm talking about major deployment mistakes that I see people making all the time. Guys, enjoy the video. Welcome guys, it's Andy here from D6 Evolution, and today we're talking about major deployment mistakes that can cost you the game. So anyone who's new to the channel, we're all about 40k tactics and we do regular 40k tactics videos. So in this tactics video we're talking about deployment mistakes, in particular screening. And now this is something that I see a lot of, even what I think are quite good players at tournaments doing against assault armies, and it can put them right on the back foot, and can sometimes it's even cost them the game. So what I'm talking about is improperly using deep strike screening. So scouts, they can deploy more than 9 inches away from your opponent's deployment zone, and what the Dark Angel player has done here is he's got his gun line back here with the Plasma Devastators and the Sicaran. He's pushed forwards a 18-inch sort of deep strike screen. He's put himself on a couple of the objectives here with the scouts, and they're facing off against a Custodes assault force here. So the main thing against Custodes or any assault army is you usually have a turn or two of shooting, depending on whether you get first or second of turn, to halt their advance. And the only thing you don't want to do is you don't want to give them essentially a speed boost in coming across the board. And that's exactly what the Dark Angel player has done here. So let me show you what I mean. So the Custodes player is going to go first. He's going to move up his 14 inches to here. He's going to charge this unit of... He's going to charge this unit of scouts here. He's going to kill them, and he's going to pile in, and he can consolidate. And all of a sudden, he's going to be all the way across the board over here. Let me show you what I mean. Welcome back. This is post-combat what's happened. So we've had the 2 units of Custodes bikes. I've left 2 units back here to show where they would have been at the end of their movement phase. Both units have charged, the units of scouts here, and are piling and consolidated. So the reason I want to illustrate this is that instead of moving 14 inches and finishing up over here, they have now moved 14 inches. Let's say, for argument's sake, they both got a 8-inch charge, and they've piled in 3 inches and consolidated 3 inches. So they have moved an extra 14 inches on top of their original 14 inches. So essentially they've got an extra turn of movement out of you placing those scouts there. You've lost both units of scouts, you've given up first blood, and you've got a massive Custodes, which are now about 6 or 7 inches away from your Dark Angel's gun line, which is massively in range of being swooping dive now. So instead of having potentially 1 or 2 solid turns of shooting at Custodes line over here, by putting those 2 units of deep strikers, of deep strike blockers on the objectives here, you've given the Custodes an extra turn of movement. You've sacrificed a couple of units, and you're probably going to lose the game now. And that's it. And I see a lot of players doing this, and I have no idea why they do it. Particularly against an all-assault army, which, you know, Custodes are one of them, but you get plenty of other ones, such as Khorne Berserkers and things like that. And by just putting a unit in between the assault unit and where they want to be, you're just giving them a phenomenal amount of movement. And that's even before you consider some of these units can activate twice or 3 times, again sort of piling in and consolidating, and they can cover a phenomenal amount of ground by just letting them charge. So obviously there are times when you do need to screen for deep strikers, and it's just figuring out, looking at your opponent's list, looking at what it's going to do, and then sort of deploying appropriately based upon that. So if you've got a whole unit, an army, you know, of infiltrating Khorne Berserkers from Alpha Legion, then obviously you do want to deploy with your scouts in the middle of the board here. But if you're facing off against an Orc Horde or against a Custodes jet bike list, then you probably don't want to do this. Now, some units as Custodes can deep strike as well, but the thing you've got to remember is, particularly with the beta rules at the moment, that things can't deep strike turn 1, so keep your screens back here, and then you can move them forwards. And by that way, you're not giving up a lot of of board to the custodians by letting them shoot forwards like this. So let me know what you think of the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Consider subscribing. We're going to be doing some more videos on deployment errors, so if any of you guys have got good thoughts about tactics to do, let me know, and I'll see if I can do a video on them. Well, until the next video, take care.